Welcome into the CHGO Bulls Podcast, man. Thank y'all for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching or listening or however you are consuming this product. Thank you very much. I am Big Dave. You can follow me on Twitter at Bow Sports. On the man on the ones and twos is my man, Stephen Nichols. Where can they follow you, Stephen?
You can't follow me.
What?
I'm not a Twitter guy.
How dare you?
I know. I'm the worst.
Any social media at all?
I have an Instagram, but don't follow it.
I have one. Just don't follow it, though.
Oh, he likes being anonymous.
Yeah,
Send steaks here to the studio for my man, Steven. That'll let him know that you are down. He is a man who eats steak and eggs, right?
Yeah, every day.
Get down. I'm going to take you to Steak and Egger one day and really blow your mind. Really mess
Don't
you
tease
up.
me with a good time.
Oh, yes, sir. But you see this gentleman over here to my left. I like to call him the youngest in charge. This young man right here will be someone's boss out here one day. I promise you that. Incredibly awesome, wonderfully intelligent. Now he is a sports reporter for the Chicago Sun-Times, covering a bunch of sports for them, which is awesome, ladies and gentlemen. Our guy, Kyle Williams, is here.
Appreciate it. Good to be back.
I'm so happy to be
back. Been a while.
It's been a minute, man. How have you been, sir?
It's been since the last time I was here. Graduated.
Yes, sir.
Graduated. That felt good.
Congratulations on that.
Appreciate
Congratulations on that, sir.
That felt good.
What'd you get your degree in?
So graduated from Northwestern with a degree, sports media. Mm-hmm. And that was a great accomplishment. You know, I didn't think I was going to do it. Never thought I would do it, but being on that stage, you know, taking a picture with J.A. and just really having it all soak in. Yeah. It was the best year of my life.
J.A. Adonde.
Yeah.
Yeah. See how you say that? My man J.A. Just
first name basis,
just
right?
Casual, you know what I'm saying? That's
it's been good. Life's been good though, man. Just been sports, music, movies, repeat. That's pretty much it.
So I see you covering a lot of the high school hoops now for the Sun-Times, man. So how fun is that for you?
Man, listen, I grew up on high school sports here, man.
Yes,
like boys, like I've been doing a lot of girls basketball. That's my main beat, and man, I've seen some hoopers. Yeah. And like I don't say that like Trinity Jones at Bolingbrook, she 5-star, has every offer you could think of, and I got to watch her last Monday. Man, grabbed the rebound and went coast to coast in 3 dribbles. Kid you not, 3 dribbles. And
that's serious.
So it's just been fun to really tap into, you know, girls basketball hasn't really been covered in Chicago like that.
Correct.
Especially from our side of things. So being able to create my own niche, my own lane, and then having like people, like it's still insane to me when I see my name on the Sun-Times. Like,
isn't that wild, bro?
It's so crazy. Like
man.
that. Like there's been 2 moments where I just couldn't believe that this is my job now.
Yeah,
and that was one of them, was just seeing my name on that on the website as a sports reporter. Man. So it's been great though.
Well, it's well deserved, brother.
Appreciate it.
Well deserved. You have earned every single thing that you have and every single thing coming to you, including being on this awesome show right here.
Of course.
Thanks for joining me again,
of course, man.
I'm so happy to see you, man. But yes, coming up on the show, we are gonna dive into a couple things, man. We're gonna talk about winning while rebuilding. It's a thing that can happen, ladies and gentlemen.
Unless you're the Pistons.
27. Oh, my God. We're going to talk about that. We're going to dive into who is benefiting the most since Zach LaVine has been injured. Is it Pat? Is it Ayo? Or is it Coby? But first and foremost, before we even get into the Bull stuff, first and foremost, can we give a round of applause to our man who made it to the finals on Jeopardy? Our boy, Chris Pettit. Look at him. Look at that. That's the face of a winner, ladies and gents. Look at that. That's the, oh my God, that's the hell yeah. I know that face. That's the, damn right. He can't curse on TV. That's all that is. He is excited. he is smart. That is all that you need to know.
That's all that needs to be said.
He is smart. I don't know if the finals happen today or if they're going to happen another day, because that happened yesterday. Okay. So he made it there yesterday. So I don't know if it happened today or not. We'll find that out. But that is amazing, dog. That is truly, truly amazing to end up on the finals, not just to be on the show. I know people who have been on the show. All right. I don't know anybody who's made it to the finals. All right. That is the very first for me. He is skilled. He is awesome, ladies and gentlemen. He covers the Sky, the CHGO Sky here for them. So make sure you watch that show. Shout out to our guy, Steven, who was filling in for me yesterday, does the CHGO Sky show with me. Good awesome. Oh, basketball mind just on 50. You know what I mean? So, yes, check those guys out. Once again, congratulations to Chris. Steven, how far do you think you can get on Jeopardy?
I'm really good at the $200 questions. As long as they're not like literature or anything like that.
Well, that's you know what? I can't deal with you, man. I can't deal with you, bro. Oh man, I think I can do okay. I think I'll do all right.
What would be your special category? Like, what are you really good at?
Ooh,
like a music guy or
music? You know, it'd be easy. As soon as they throw out music or history, I love it. I almost minored in history in college.
Okay,
I'm a history person.
This guy.
Okay.
All right.
I don't need more reasons to be loved.
Kyle, how about you? You're a Northwestern grad. You're a smart guy.
So I could do English literature, music, and those would be my go-tos. Music, you know.
Yeah.
I feel I mean, they kind of go intertwined with me. I read a lot about music.
That's true.
I read a lot about like music stories, music articles. You know, right now I'm reading a book about a tribe called Quest again. It's a good reread just about their origin, but. No, I'm a music guy.
You heard him say again. Did you hear that?
It was a good book.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good book. I just love those, you know, learning about your favorite groups and how they made your favorite albums. What was Q-Tip thinking when he made a world tour? Like what went into that? Like, I need to know those things. Bye, Sarah.
No, you're right. Sarah's leaving. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's, you know, have you guys ever seen the SNL Jeopardy sketch?
Yes. Many times.
Every time I think of Jeopardy, I always think of like that, and when they did Black Jeopardy with Tom Hanks.
Oh, his was classic, bro. When he had the hat, when he was a Trump supporter dude. Yeah, man. I like a big old woman. I like him.
And then the last question, when he thought he had made it out of Dodge, and it was like, these lives matter now. Wait, and he was like, all right, Keenan was like, we ran out of time here.
I love Keenan was like, it's been fun, Tom. It's been fun, man. I got some opinions on this right here. We sure you do. Oh man. Ooh, all right, yeah, we can get lost in this, man, but let's deal with some news, though. Let's deal with some quick news of the day. Some injury update news, ladies and gentlemen, on Nikola Vucevic. Thank you, Steven. As you can see, expected timetable for Chicago Bulls center Nikola Vucevic with a groin strain, at least 7 to 10 days for Nikola Vucevic. So that is about, I would say, maybe 5 games for the Chicago Bulls in the time that he might be out. That's calculating if he's out for those 10 days. I wonder if this has anything to do with how Andre Drummond played. That's just, you know, a little bit of cynicism in my brain, wondering that. But I'm sure, you know, Vooch is not a guy who likes missing games. He's not a guy who's just going to sit out just to sit out. Right. Played all 82 last year, obviously. I think this is kind of something that we might have seen coming. Also, being third or fourth in total minutes in the NBA, you would expect something like that to happen to a vet.
Yeah, like him and DeMar and Coby, they've played a very large amount of minutes the past, you know, since Zach's been out. Yeah. And, you know, Vucevic played, like you said, all 82 games last season and, you know, got kicked in that area. So I think, you know, him taking it slow, especially with a groin injury, those soft tissue injuries, you gotta really take care of those, make sure you don't re-aggravate it. And then, you know, so 7 to 10 days, you know, it gives a healthy leeway for Andre Drummond to get some well-deserved playing time.
And he's definitely doing that, man. They got over those, if we're talking about the 10 days, they got the Pacers next, 2 games against Philly, the Knicks on the road, and then at home against the Charlotte Hornets. That will take you up to January 5th. So that's an interesting time as well, because that's
not a lot of centers in that grouping. You know, Joel Embiid's hurt. The Knicks, Mitchell Robinson's out. Yeah, it's a Hartenstein. They just signed Taj Gibson again.
Yes, they did.
Who guarded Giannis and was like, all right.
Wait, y'all this big now?
Yeah, like, oh, you're this skilled and big?
Hey, wait a minute, man.
And Taj's like, this is not the Giannis from 2015. I don't remember that.
Where's Mike Dunleavy at? Like, somebody got to hit this dude. Oh, my God. Yeah, things have changed. You saw it on his face because he played 13 minutes and looked like he played 35.
It was one of those like, man, did I make the right decision?
Right. It got real. It got really real for him really quick, man. So that's going to be interesting, though, to watch it over these next few games, how it's going to be because of the game that Andre Drummond had. And I'm sure they was talked about on the post game yesterday with Matt and Steven, man. But 24 points and 25 rebounds and 5 stocks, as our guy Goat likes to call it. You know, Goat likes to call them stocks, steals and blocks together. 5 stocks that he had, ladies and gentlemen. But talk about the game that Andre Drummond had, man, and were you surprised at this? We know he can do this, but just how surprised were you to see him do it?
I would say I wasn't too surprised just because he does it just in his limited minutes. If you extrapolate it over, per 36, but still to see that stat line is right out of a video game. 24 points, 25 rebounds, but he was so active. That was really stood out to me. He's up in the pick and roll, knocking the ball away from Trae Young, grabbing every rebound like usual, contesting shots. It was an all-around good game from Andre Drummond and, showed Billy, hey, maybe I should get more than 13 even when Vooch is back, help lessen his minute total. But what about you? What did you think about the whole, 39-minute, 25 rebounds, 24-point performance?
I was surprised. I can't front on it. I was surprised. I like Andre Drummond, but I'm always on the ship and off the ship with Andre Drummond. It's always 50-50. I call him Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. You never know what you're going to get with Andre Drummond. When you get good Drummond, you get this. When you get bad Drummond, you don't get that. You get a comedy of errors.
Against the Cavs, he had 1 point, 6 rebounds.
Yes,
it's just you never know.
You don't know, man. And so it's hard for me to buy in totally. But I know he fits what the Bulls need. The Bulls are lacking rebounding. He can fix that. The defense, he's really excellent at steals. I think that's not talked about enough. I remember when he was at the top of the league in steals when he was starting. And that was just really crazy to me. And blocks as well. So
he has quick hands.
Yes, very much so. He ripped up Trae Young. He ripped him up, dog. I saw it happen. It was crazy. So it was a little surprise to me to watch him drop to 24 and 25, but it was more surprising watching the 11 of 13 shooting, watching him not miss a free throw, watching him not throw the ball in the stands, for no reason. Those things I was surprised at. And also what was surprising was how fresh he was. Because you mentioned the 39 minutes.
Yes.
And Billy Donovan is a minutes-heavy guy. He's going to give you minutes to play. And I was expecting to see him gas because I seen him gas last year. I saw it happen. Yep. I saw him be gassed and I need to get out the game. He was fresh as a daisy, as the kids say. He was fresh as a daisy.
Big Dave, you saw it in person. Was this
I did.
Was this vintage Andre Drummond? It seemed like Detroit Pistons to me. Especially when I looked at the stat line. I did a double take line. There's no way I just read that right. He had how many points and how many rebounds?
Yeah. I would say it wasn't even that Detroit Pistons Andre Drummond because I didn't like him with the Detroit Pistons. I thought he got easy 2020s, if that makes sense. It was cheating 2020s, This one was different, man. Every time a shot went up, he took it from everybody and then would just go back up, lay it in, go back up, lay it in. And I think that Paul hit it on the head. Andre was focused. That's really what it was. He had a real different kind of focus in that game. I don't know if it was because his mother was there. He went and hugged his mother who was in the stands, if that had anything to do with it. But he just had a different kind of sharpness about him. And his IQ was raised, and I'm not used to seeing that Andre Drummond at all. The first plays of the game, you just saw how he blends in kind of with that offense and especially how DeMar plays. It just worked really well for him, man. And this is Clint Capella. Clint Capella is, nothing to sneeze at as far as rebounding and size. And he just made him look like a child. And it was just crazy.
And his activity allowed them to play smaller. They had the lineup, Coby, Caruso, DeMar, and I believe it was Ayo out there around Andre.
Yeah.
And so it allowed them to mix and match with different pieces. And that's a credit to Andre Drummond, being active. Now whether he continues to play, what he looks like tomorrow, we never know.
That part.
And, Stacey was bringing on the broadcast how, he needs to play more. I said the reason he doesn't is because he doesn't do this all the time. And that's the consistency part is what, Billy and honestly any coach looks for.
Yeah.
Is the consistency factor. So this is a big stress for Andre Drummond. He said he views himself as a starter in this league. Now he has, 7 to 10 days to really show, whether it's to the Bulls, to it's another team, that he's still a starter in this league.
And let me ask you this, because that did bring up a question to me in my head about Billy Donovan. If Andre Drummond continues this, is this an indictment on Billy? Because, like I said, Vooch playing the third most minutes in the league, that means Drummond is not getting those, half of those minutes, like you said, 13 that he's getting. Yeah. To come out and perform like that, not just a regular cool game, but like an elite center kind of game, is that an indictment on Billy in any kind of way?
I don't think it's an indictment on him because they've invested in, the center with Vucevic.
Sure.
And so it's hard to have minutes for it's just hard because you're penciling in Vooch for 30 to 32 minutes, and they can't play together. That's the biggest thing.
Don't do that.
Even though they try,
do it.
It just doesn't work when they play together. Please. And so it's just hard to find those minutes. You could find, look in the couch cushions for the minutes. They're just not there. It's just because Vooch is 33 minutes for Vooch, and then so it's just a math thing at that point. And but I don't think it's indictment on Billy. It's more so just the predicament there, and with two arguably starting level big men.
Yeah, I think one part you definitely hit. He need to show the consistency in it, but also Billy's stubborn. Oh yeah, Billy's a stubborn guy. We've seen it over the years. He is stubborn, and he'll stick with something even when we're like change it. Yep. He'll still stick with it. I think there'll obviously be a change coming. There was one more stat I wanted to show from my guy Drew Stevens from the Bigs. Shout out to him, man.
Shout out to Bigs,
Drew was amazing, and shout out to the Bigs as well. But Drummond, the first player in franchise history with 24 points, 25 rebounds, the 5 stocks in a game. But the 5 players up there that have done that, of course, Dream, Barkley, who always blows my mind because he's like 6'4", Roy Tarpley, shout out to Roy Tarpley with the Mavs, Chris Webber, and Dwight Howard. That's it. That's the list, bro. That is the list. Andre Drummond is now on this list with these kind of ball. Yeah, look at Steven's brain right now. With these kind of ball players.
Yeah, one of those names is definitely not like the other.
You know that Lil Wayne where he's like, when you mention Pac, Biggie, and Jay-Z, don't forget Weezy Baby. That's how Andre is with every rebound stat is, Hall of Famers, and then Andre Drummond.
Yep. That's how it is. It's like, wait a minute, where you come from? Oh, you've been there the whole time, sir. So that is really amazing that he is on that kind of list and doing those kind of things for the Chicago Bulls, man. And, man, we just hope to keep watching it. Honestly, I want to see it be consistent. I know how important he is to this team, and he'll obviously get more minutes. Billy is not going to just not give him more minutes. So, and I think that bodes well for Vooch, too. Getting older, and who hasn't had an awesome year. Of course, he's had spurts, but he hasn't had an awesome year. So, giving Drummond a little more of that time.
Yeah, maybe that could be fatigue.
Correct. It could be all those things. So maybe giving him a little more of that time, to see what's going on the floor also will be great. And, of course, this won't bother the guys because they're the best of teammates, man. Yeah. Drummond is an incredible teammate, man. Yeah. They really are fond of each other, man. They're really cool with each other. So congratulations, Andre Drummond. You're amazing. Wow. Watching it live, wow. It was mind-blowing. My nephew did not believe you were 29 years old. He thought he was 36. He did not believe
he's only 29?
He's 20. Yeah, see,
he's younger than me.
Yes, he's 29 years old. Yeah.
How?
Him and Kevon Looney have that. They seem more older than they actually are.
That's true. Yeah, I'm sorry, Steve. I'm sorry.
I just dated myself a little bit there. I can't believe that.
He got so upset.
He's been in the league for like 30 years. Are you sure?
31.
Yeah. Okay. While you were at that game, by the way, you met a couple fans. $20 super chat from Luke Urbeck. Hey. Big Dave, I saw you at the game. Me and my mom talked to you, and I'm from Wisconsin. My mom told you she's from Utah. Much love, brother.
Yes, I definitely remember them, man. We were leaving out in the tunnel. I met them. He and his mom came up to me and told me just how much they loved the show and watch it. And when she told me she's from Utah, I obviously hugged her immediately. And I was just blown away by that, just being from Utah. Or living in Utah. Mom said she's back and forth. She also kind of stays here too. But yeah, just being there and listening to us there. She was like, I love it all. I love the hat throws. Like, I love the takes. She was like, I watch you guys. And he was awesome to meet as well, man. Like, no, it was just really cool, man. I met a bunch of fans yesterday. It was weird.
Does it ever get old?
It doesn't. It doesn't get old, but it's always weird to me, you know, because it's very humbling, and it's always weird to me, bro. Like I don't know. I don't think of myself in that vein. I mean, I know I'm amazing, but I don't think of myself in this vein of, you know what I'm saying? Like how they're speaking of me. Yeah. Like it was one guy talking about me, and I promise you, I thought he was talking about someone else. The way he was talking about, because he was just raving all these things, and in my head, I'm like, does he know who I am? Like I don't know if this dude knows it's me. And no, it was me. Then he went and brought his son to meet me. Then he brought his wife to meet me. And you know, it was just crazy. And then people just started coming around, you know, because they all watched the show and they wanted to talk and everything like that. And it was just really, really cool, man. So it was humbling, bro. It's always humbling. You're right. It doesn't get old. It's always weird to me just because of who I am, but it's always amazing, dog. It really is. It's something special, man. Come hang out with me one day, Steve. We'll see you, man.
It's awesome. Yeah, you got to get to more Bulls games. What I just heard.
I know, right? You can't wear your Jimmy Butler jersey, though.
I'm wearing the Jimmy Butler jersey. Damn it. You can't stop me.
You can. What if I promise you beers and hot dogs all night?
All right, I'll come.
All right.
There we go. There we
go.
To
his stomach. We can have a discussion, man. We got to take a break. We come back, man. We're going to talk about winning while rebuilding. Kyle has some things he would like to say on that, y'all. And then we'll get into which guys are benefiting more from Zach LaVine being out, Ayo, Pat, or Coby. But first, I want to talk about something I know Steven likes to do, and that's stay in shape. That's work out. Steven is a stout guy. I don't know how he does it. Is it just by eating and running? Is that how you do it?
I don't do running. Oh, no.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I'm sorry.
Not a fan of the running?
No one's chasing me. I don't see any reason for it.
No one's chasing me. I don't.
It's the only reason.
Oh my God, yo! The Midtown Athletic Club is where you can be running at if you would like to do that, or riding a bike at. You can do that as well. But get yourself together at one of the best spots to do it at in the entire city. They got 4 awesome locations. They're in Palatine, Bannockburn, Willowbrook, and the Midtown Athletic Club and Hotel in the middle of Bucktown and Lincoln Park. It is Matt Peck's sister approved. His sister approves this. She thinks it's amazing. I trust her. And the Midtown Palatine has launched a multi-million-dollar transformation of the club, which will be complete in early 2024, just in time for all your New Year's resolutions, y'all. Listeners can lock in favorable rates if they join before the end of the year. That's something for everybody at these clubs, y'all. Single people, families with kids, people looking to make lifestyle changes, holistic wellness, all the things that you got, all the things that you're going to need. Over 100 classes come with your membership. Over 100 classes per week come with your membership. Some of them include yoga, boxing, spin and cycling, cross-training, group exercises, high-intensity interval training, and it's not gym quality spaces. No. This is boutique quality stuff right here, y'all. The indoor, outdoor courts, the super luxe locker rooms, y'all, with the wet and dry saunas and all the other premium amenities. The tennis courts that our guy Carm and Adam Hogue rave about all the time. You can get on one of those because they are professional quality all the way. So head over to midtown.com/CHGO. That's midtown.com/CHGO. Find out more and to tour, that rhymed, the Midtown Athletic Club nearest you. Midtown Athletic Club. Sweat it out. Steven, but I do have a question for you, Steven.
Okay.
What time is it?
Game time. Who?
Yes. He's been ready. When he told me he was never going to mess up again, he meant it.
He's locked
Yeah,
in.
He meant it in his soul.
Second you said you had a question, I knew what read it
Yeah, I
was.
set you up. Yeah, I did it nice. I set you up, man. I did it nice. I just wanted to make sure your jumper was tight. You know what I mean? And
Always.
It's on point. It's on point. You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all your sports, music, comedy, and theater events nearest you with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying those tickets. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event and even an hour after it starts, y'all. It's not the place. Nope, it is the place to find last-minute seats, find exclusive flash deals, sponsored deals on tickets to football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and much, much more. And with the zone deals, you pick the section, Game Time does the selecting with an average savings of, somebody give me a drum roll, You could have just hit the table. I would have took it.
I found it.
18% savings. Save yourself some money. And the Game Time Guaranteed meals, you'll always get the best price available. Game Time will credit you not 100%, but 110% of the difference. It's crazy. It's wild. So download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem that code CHGO for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Because God Williams. What time is it?
Game time. Ooh.
I like that. Gruff, low, grown man. He grown man. You know what I mean? Like Game Time. Ooh, you know what I mean?
Gotta be ready for it. Yeah. Gotta be ready for it.
Hey, prepared, yo. All right, man. Let's go ahead and let's talk about winning while rebuilding. Well, as you put it, staying competitive while rebuilding. And you wanted to get into this a little bit. I'm sure especially because of what we're seeing.
What transpired in Detroit.
Yes, oh my God. But also it's definitely been a topic amongst Bulls fans about blowing it up, starting over, getting, younger guys in here, letting Zach go, DeMar go, Vooch go, and just Caruso, everybody getting out of here. So a lot of people didn't see the value in what they're kind of doing now. I never wanted to blow it up ever. I don't like going through rebuilds. I like winning, all right? I like watching competent basketball and good basketball. And I just felt like it was still something I wanted to see from a couple of these young players. And we're starting to see some of those things now. But what about you? Like, what brought this to you that you wanted to continue to see competitive basketball while still rebuilding?
Because so I'm going to just read off real quick. Sure. The Detroit Pistons first-round picks from 2009 to 2015.
Okay.
Austin Day, Greg Monroe, Brandon Knight, Andre Drummond, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and Stanley Johnson.
Okay.
There's no star in that group. Andre made 2 all-star teams. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope's a valued role player now, but they didn't find that star. So all of that losing was all for naught, basically. And during that span, I don't believe they won any more than 30 games, 32 games. And so when you lose that much and that frequently, I really do believe that it takes a toll on the franchise. It's hard to we're seeing it with the Blackhawks in a way. It's hard to get the losing out of the organization once it's infected the organization. And and there's examples of teams, Oklahoma City, they rebuilt, but they were never, all right, we're gonna try to lose. Remember the year they had Chris Paul, made the playoffs?
That's true.
And then they, traded him and then ran with the younger guys. But there's ways to rebuild, retool your roster without, trading every veteran that's above the age of 28 and just going at it that way. Like last night, for example, Andre Drummond, DeMar DeRozan, they stepped up when Coby White and Patrick Williams weren't there. Sure. But there have been nights when Coby White was going, then DeMar comes on late. Right. And so it's important to have that veteran presence to lean on during these, turbulent times. And so everybody who says, oh, you just got to trade everybody and then start over, look at the Pistons. They've done it. And, Cade Cunningham's a very solid player. Probably going to be an all-star in this league.
No question.
Is he going to be the guy? We don't know.
Yeah.
They have Jaden Ivey who's in and out. They were supposed to be a team that's like, okay, now they're going to take that next step forward. It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important that you continue to win. And, they're the biggest example of what happens when a rebuild goes off the rails.
Yeah.
And, there are examples of tearing it down and then winning starting to happen. You have the Sixers, but they're an oddity. Joel Embiid just happened to turn into one of the best players alive.
Sure.
And even then, Jaleel, Ben Simmons, Nerlens Noel, Markelle Fultz, they had their flameouts. And so this time when, you have your Coby White shining, you have Patrick Williams, he's attempting to dunk on people now. It's not working, but he's attempting. And, you have
the thought that counts,
right?
It's
the thought that counts. And then you have your Coby White who is hitting – one of the funniest things is watching Coby White when he has a chance to hit a big shot. Yeah. Because when he misses, you can just see it on his face how bad he wants to hit that big shot. And so getting those reps and meaningful late game basketball matters. Yeah. Even if they don't win, it still matters. It's getting plastered by 30 just for the sake of a draft pick. It's not going to do any good. I mean, look at San Antonio. They got the guy who everyone pegs as the next guy in the league. And they're still going through a lot of losing.
Tons of it.
Washington, a lot of losing, a lot of bad habits being picked up. So I think what the Bulls is, they're not in the ideal situation they want to be in.
Sure.
But, Coby White's ascension, Patrick Williams' ascension, it makes everything better for the organization's outlook.
Yeah.
And so, fans always want to say, blow it up and get rid of this guy, get rid of Zach. But having the vets like Caruso and DeMar is going to matter going forward. It's because if Coby White is a third option on a good team, it's important for him to get these reps and be able to impart wisdom on whoever the number 1 and number 2, whether it be through the draft or a young player they acquire. So that's just how I feel about. What about you? What do you feel about?
No, but first of all, that was incredibly well said in all facts, and I feel the exact same way. I've been up here preaching that the same kind of way, because there's I wanted people to see the value in winning, and the value, like even just going to a play-in game. I'm like, there's value in that, especially for those young guys like Pat and Coby who maybe didn't experience that. Going to the first round and getting beat up by Milwaukee is fine with me because I'm like, you got to a playoffs, you got to experience what it feels like because it's a different feel, it's a different vibration, and you got to know what it feels like. Now let's work on the next step, which is actually winning, So you understand what it is, you know what it tastes like, you know what it feels like. Now it's time to eat. You know what I mean? Like, when do you want to grub? That one way you can grub and sit at the table is if you go to dinner. You know what I'm saying? If you're not invited to the dinner, you can't eat. You know what I mean? And I want the Bulls to actually get to the dinner to eat. So I'm all about that. The only one I was on board with trading Caruso, only because when his name is coming up and you're talking about getting 2 first-round picks for a bench player, yes, I'm deal. Every day of my life, that's a deal. And I still think they're still a good team without him. They're better, obviously, with him. But I still think they're a good team without him. Now I don't think you can I think that trade talk is off the table because of Torrey Craig. Since Torrey Craig is down, he's going to be down to like March. You got to stick with Caruso. Like you really don't have a choice anymore. Like you got to roll with that.
And then I will say, I completely. If you can get value for Caruso, they should 100% do it. I am not a proponent of being mediocre for the sake of being mediocre.
Agreed.
I believe that if the team believes that the younger guys are ascending and that the key veteran, the offseason is coming up, DeMar is open to a contract extension.
Right.
Whatever they do with that is whatever. But what I'm saying is at least have him be around for this group of players to be able to. That's a lot of buckets he's given in this league.
Dude, right now, like if you're looking at it, he might be the second best small forward in the league.
Yeah.
Like I can make these arguments about this for DeMar DeRozan, and for those things you're saying, like those guys look up to him. Absolutely. And you see how they play. Like
he's rubbing off on Pat. I think Will shared the video yesterday of the side by side of like them doing the same move. You're starting to see Coby going to the right elbow, pull up mid range. Then Patrick's doing it, and so they're rubbing off on each other. You're starting to see progression. That's what I think the frustration is with Bulls fans. They weren't seeing the Patrick Williams. You were seeing guys like Lowry Markkanen and even Chris Dunn in Utah. Seeing those guys go into other places and produce that. You can understand. I can understand a Bulls fan's frustration, but now you're starting to see growth from Patrick Williams, growth from Coby White. And so, it's not the ideal circumstance, but I don't think you tearing it down to the studs, it's hard to recover from that lose.
Yeah.
I mean, even a team, New Orleans, talented as can be, but there's just something that they're missing. And that is just, I can't put a finger on it, but it's something that they're missing. Even though they, ideally they have the guy in Zion, the guy in BI. But but I agree with you though. Is if you could get something for Caruso, it would behoove them to get something for Caruso. But this team, 12-18, I believe the record is. Yeah. But I might be wrong. You're more tapped in with the fan base, but I would say at least the vibes on Twitter are better just because of what they've seen from Coby of late.
Well, they don't have a choice, in that. Like. You can be stubborn and, continue to feel that way, but you don't really have a choice. And you have to be silly to sit there and not be impressed by what you're seeing. Yeah. These young guys do, and even Ayo, we haven't even mentioned him, like, and what he's doing, and the role that he's carved out for himself, pretty much. So yeah, like, I'm excited about it, and definitely the fan base is excited about it. Seeing those guys like Coby, because there have been a lot of Coby apologies that have gone out. You know what I'm saying? Because people thought Coby didn't have that. Like, I've talked to many dudes who thought that, like, years ago, who were like, "No, he ain't got it." And I would always ask that question, like, if he don't got it, can he get it? You know, like, what's stopping him from getting that? Yeah. Nothing. Obviously, nothing was stopping him from getting it. He went and he's got it, and he
all-time leader in North Carolina scoring.
Come on, dog. Like, he hoops, he balls, man. Looking at this comment, who is that? Satya making? No, you don't completely agree. You said we should trade AC last night. I was not here last night.
I was not either.
You got some black people confused, bro. I wasn't here last night. So check out that show. That wasn't me. But I just said right now, I thought we should trade Alex Caruso, you know? But I don't think you can anymore. I just don't think you can anymore and still be what I thought they could be without him, because a lot of that was dependent on Torrey Craig, you know, being here and being healthy, who was great for us. But without him, you got to hold on to Alex Caruso, man, because if you lose him, bro, you opening some floodgates here, man. But for the people who want to tank, you know, and the people who have that ideology, or even this team playing like this, what can you tell them about this type of value that can come with the Bulls actually making a play-in? Because there are a lot of people who don't see that value of this team this year making a play-in. Even if they get to the playoffs through the play-in, they still don't see any kind of value in that. They just would rather tank, start over, and, you know, take it down to the studs. As Matt says, burn it to ashes and then set the ashes on fire. So how do you say it to those guys who don't see that kind of value?
I would say, look at the 2024 draft. You know, Joe Cowley, shout out Joe Cowley sometimes. He wrote about how average the draft is. And, you know, he talked with, you know, well-reputable people, and it's not a strong draft. You know, there is no Wemby in this draft. Yeah. There's a Ron Holland for the G League Ignite. Yes. There is an Isaiah Collier who's at USC.
Yeah, Collier, shout out.
These are solid players, but these aren't difference makers. There's no D Rose at the top of this draft. So if you're going to tank just for the sake of tanking, just to get a guy who's not going to really move the needle, then that's just a waste. You know, the NBA is all about experience. It's all about getting reps. And, you know, Golden State, they built their dynasty off of finding Klay Thompson, pick 11, Draymond. The Boston Celtics, you know, they had 1 year, the Isaiah Thomas in between years when, you know, they had the last hurrah of that 08 Celtics team. Then they had their rebuild, get Marcus Smart. Then the weird years, you know, it's kind of like in Community, they had the gas leak seasons in between where the Dan Harmon wasn't there anymore, so they just call it the gas leak years, the weird years. Yes, you know, that's why I call it the IT years in between. You know, those little fun years. Yeah. And then they got the Kyrie Irving, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown core. It's just they never really tore it all the way down. Yes, you know, they even had a year where Evan Turner was on the team and they were still a solid team. You know, shout out ET from Chicago. Shout out. And so you look at all around the league, and there's not many teams that took the most extreme version of tanking. Yeah. You know, they did rebuild, but I just think there's a fine line between rebuilding and tanking. I think rebuilding is when you are rebuilding with the plan in mind for the future. Tanking is when you're just, all right, we're going to put out this roster, see what happens. Right. And then that's where, you know, Houston, you saw what Houston had to do this year. They had to go out and get they got rid of the substitute teacher and got the hard, stern teacher in Ime Udoka. Yes. They had to get adults in the room with Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet to write the culture. And you know, they paid
a lot of money.
A pretty penny for them. So, you know, the Bulls have paid a pretty penny for, you know, their vets, but would you rather this or, you know, have the young guys and have to coach out of them the bad habits that they've accumulated over the years? So, you know, tanking is fun. You know, on 2K you do it, you get the first, second, and third pick. That's fun.
2K is easy.
But in real life, and these are real people and real situations, it's just different.
Just a different monster, ain't it?
Just different.
Yeah. And I talk about that with my friends all the time, like that 2K way of thinking. Like everybody just can build their team like that. And I'm like, bro, there's no creative players. Like,
there's no creative players.
You can't turn the fatigue off. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to walk in the locker room like, we're losing this year, guys.
Right.
Like, you can't do that. Is this the human element is just so undervalued when it comes to these things?
Yes.
Like,
Say it
these
again.
are real people you are dealing with.
Say it again, bro. Like, people don't factor that part in, bro. Like, these are human beings who are paid professionally to play a sport that they love. They didn't come out, and a lot of them, if they're at this level, aren't used to losing. You know what I mean? They didn't come up in high school or in college losing. It's not their thing. So to do it, and I'm sure it's devastating to the Pistons and what they're going through and dealing with, even to an extent where Wembanyama went through a 15-game losing streak. And he talked about how much he loves winning. That's what he talked about. I want to win, dog. I don't care about none of this. Yeah, you will never see me cheering for losing. I'm not for losing. I'm always for winning because there's value in wins. There's value in doing it that way. And you're kind of seeing it right now, like with this team and the camaraderie and the continuity of this team that's kind of working and coming together. And it's fun to watch. The Bulls are a fun product of basketball right now, rebuilding and retooling while they're actually still being competitive and winning.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a thing.
Look at granted, they did the hard part and had Steph Curry on their roster, but what helped propel the Warriors to that 2022 championship? They finished the season 15-5 with their young guys getting, the Jordan Pooles of the world, even though it blew up, but Jordan Poole got that experience and then was the starting shooting guard until Clay came back.
Yes.
And so they all got that experience. That's kind of the what helped build them up and get them ready for that moment was that, that I think it was a playing game against the Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah. They were in the fire. They had that experience. And so just being in the playoffs now is so we live in a society where it's either winning a championship or you didn't do anything. And there's a fine line in between.
Yes, it is.
I just looked up the 2015-16 Boston Celtics.
Come on with it.
They won 48 games. Isaiah Thomas, this was before the King of the Four IT breakout year, the MVP-like season.
Great year.
And so you had Isaiah Thomas, you had Avery Bradley. Like, they didn't win a championship, but Evan Turner, Jay Crowder, Jared Sullivan, like all of these guys.
Right.
But it's important to have a sense of winning within your organization.
Correct.
And that matters. You saw with those Bulls teams when when D Rose would be injured, they didn't lay over. No,
they didn't.
And that's how Jimmy Butler grew from being around Joakim, being around D Rose, Rip Hamilton.
Correct.
And so all of that stuff matters. Like, there's a human element here that is going, like, whether fans want to believe it's real or not, one of those things, it does matter.
Oh, it matters. Yes. And I think also a great example of that, and I know we got a commercial to do, but a great example of that is Zach LaVine. That's a great example of that. That man is not used to winning in this league. Yes. And if you watch his game and how he plays, it shows because of that human element. Like, he knows what breaking down in the fourth quarter is. He knows what losing at the buzzer is. He knows what losing on a ridiculous shot is.
He was in Minnesota before it was cool.
Correct. Right.
Before it was awesome. The end thing.
Yeah, before people liked being there. You know what I'm saying? He was there for that, man. So, like I said, when I told everybody he hadn't never won 4 games in a row in his career, it just happened the first year Lonzo got here. That's a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, he finally tasted that, and that's crazy. So, yes, it is important to win, and it shows in you when you're losing, and it wears on you. Larry Markin is a great example. How he said, I fell out of love with basketball here. Losing has something to do with that. Yeah. Wendell Carter Jr. and all the injuries he's had looks pretty spry. Now, I know he's hurt now, but he played the most games he's ever played last year in Orlando. He had never played over 55 games, here in Chicago. So that stuff matters. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a thing, guys. Like he said, there's a human element involved in this that we got to get behind. Winning is fun. It's fun, okay? And it's good. Just let the chips fall where they may. You can't control all this, man. Because Detroit just showed you they were the worst team in the league last year. They ended up with a top 3 pick. They did not. They ended up with number 5. All right? And if the Bulls were the worst team in the league and ended up with number 5 pick, they wouldn't have gotten it. They would have went to Orlando. Yeah, imagine how that would have felt. All right, let's get to a break. Great discussion there, Kyle. You're awesome, man. Yeah. So we come back. We're going to talk about the aforementioned Zach LaVine and his absence, how or which guys have improved their game or have benefited from the absence of Zach LaVine. Is it Coby? Is it Pat? Or is it Ayo? Which one of those guys you feel has improved the most? Please tell us. Continue to send in the super chats. We're going to read those too. But first, let me talk about something that Steven loves, gambling. He enjoys it. And especially for the NFL fan, look at his face. He's like, you can't lie.
I do like gambling. Yeah.
For the NFL fans out there, y'all, it's time to unwrap nonstop football action. It's holiday season. Throw down on big matchups with DraftKings Sportsbook. I like how I say that in the chest. An official sports betting partner of the NFL. Yeah. This week, new customers can bet just $5 on NFL and score $150 instantly in bonus bets. Steven, have you been placing your bets, sir?
I have been placing bets and I have been losing bets, but I'm still hopeful.
Okay.
I'm going to turn it around and get back to where I was.
Okay. What bets are you looking at? You get anything coming up that catches your eye there?
I'm a big NFL guy. I'm looking at the futures for the Super Bowl right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And you can bet on anything in the Super Bowl. My favorite one's to bet on the color of the Gatorade that was being dumped on someone.
That's a chance game. I want to put some thought into it.
Oh, come on, man. Yeah. What do I want to do that for? Mine is thought, too. Well, mine is more feel. I'm more feelings. You know what I'm saying?
It feels like Riptide Rush today. All right.
Yeah. How do you feel it, Steve? You the one who got to do all the math and the whiteboard stuff. I ain't got time for that. Yeah, blue. 500. Run it. Let's do it like that. That's what we're going to do. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook now with the code CHGO. New customers can bet $5 on NFL action and score $150 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with that code CHGO. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Steven, I think it's also time to talk about your other favorite thing that you like. And I don't even know what people will notice about you, but you're very serious about your energy needs, sir.
Very serious.
He's no jokes about it. Well, let me tell you this, though, because it's getting easier, Steven, for businesses to switch to electric vehicles. I don't know if you knew this, but it's getting easier. That's something that we can all get behind for the health of the planet and for the well-being of all of us who share it.
Yeah, the electric grid is evolving to meet your cleaner energy needs as we all move with confidence toward an electric tomorrow.
Word.
Whether you have a one delivery van or a whole fleet of shipping trucks, ComEd could help guide you to make the changes that make sense.
So, Steven, what should business owners do?
They should go to ComEd.com/ as you would say, clean to learn more about the resources, fleet rebates, and infrastructure incentives available to help businesses go electric. If you own a business, don't wait. Start making your plan today to switch to electric vehicles. Good for business, good for the planet, good for all of us. Go to ComEd.com/clean.
Did you say ComEd.com/clean?
Yes, I did. Go now and see how electric connects us to a better way of doing business and a better future for generations to come.
Oh, that man is a professional over there. He ain't playing about his energy needs. All right, let's get into this, man, because this is something that I really honestly wanted to know your opinion on, among many things, actually. But Zach LaVine, during his injury, I mean, we have eyes. We can see this is a totally different team and how they're playing without him on the floor. I think part of it is because, he is not out there. I think a part of it is just things started clicking. I'm not going to put all of it on Zach. Yeah. I'm just not going to do that. I think it's silly to do that. But certain guys have definitely benefited from that extra time on the floor with Zach being out. And the guys that I point to immediately are the young trio. It's Ayo, it's Coby, and it's Patrick Williams. So I wanted to ask you, which one of those guys do you feel benefited the most with Zach being out? And please tell us who you all feel between those three guys, who you feel benefited the most from those three guys being out right now. But Steven, you can put up that graphic for me, sir, when you get a chance, just showing what the three guys have done in the absence of young Zachary Attackery. I put Stephen out, shout out Big Gip. Coby White, as you can see, 20, which is wild, 23, 6, and 6 with 41 from the field. Patrick Williams, 13, 4 with an assist, but that 48% from the three-point line is ridiculous because he was not there for a while, and it's good that he found his way. And Ayo, who has honestly been just super consistent, even with or without Zach, he's been pretty consistent. The 10 points, the 3.4 rebounds, the 2.5 assists, shooting 35% from the three-point line. I think that is definitely key to his ascension as well. But Kyle, who do you feel has benefited the most with him being out?
I'm gonna take the easy answer here. Ooh. I mean, it's Coby White.
Okay.
And I don't even want to, like you said, I don't want to put it all on Zach being out.
Sure.
I just think something just clicked with Coby. Just I don't have any tangible, the stats were up there, 23, 6 and 6. Mm-hmm. Just something just seemed to click with him. Mm-hmm. He looked the most confident he's played here. I remember the game against Miami. He catches the rebound, spins and then shoots a three-pointer all in one motion and splash. Like there's a certain confidence in a bravado he's playing with, a flair. Yeah. And I would have to go with Coby. I mean, the leap, he took a leap last year with just the defense and the attention to detail, but now the shot making is there combined with all those other things. So he's played like one of the better guards in the league.
He has. No, it's been really awesome to watch his ascension and growth. And just setting that record of the three-point shots made, what was it, 3 3-pointers for about 15 straight games or something like that? Like, just really incredible stuff from Coby. Personally, I think it's Pat. I think Pat has benefited the most, and I'll tell you why. One, it's wild to see him have 13 points a game. Let me start there. That's wild, all right? I can say I'm not used to seeing it because he hasn't done it. You know what I mean? He just hasn't done it. But the reason I feel like that is he operates now with more space than he would when Zach was out there on the floor. And he operates with less thinking now that Zach isn't out there on the floor. You can tell in a bunch of times, and he still kind of does it now, that he's one of those guys that's always thinking, whether he's thinking ahead or he's thinking about the play that's going on, his brain is constantly running. It's not a great thing all the time for him. Sometimes you just need to shut that off and just go to work.
Just go hoop.
Yeah, that's it. But with Zach out there, you can tell he was always pump faking and then passing. You know what I'm saying? Should I drive right here? Should I make this move? Where is Zach going to be? Because I want to make sure he gets his, kind of situation. Now you see him putting the ball on the floor and getting to his spot, which I haven't seen him do since I don't know when. But getting to his spot, and you mentioned the jump shot that he has that looks like DeMar's, the fadeaway, which is vicious also. Like a dude that big and that tall who jumps that high who's fading. This is why he was hitting those shots on Wembanyama. And I was pointing that out. Like, dude, he's hitting these joints on Wembanyama. And the reason is because it's a fadeaway and he's jumping out of the gym and he's 6'7", 6'8". Yeah. So he's not a small person doing this. But it just feels like he has more space and less thinking to do when Zach isn't out there. Now, I'm not blaming that on Zach. That's something that he has to figure out, I think, Patrick Williams, because Zach could be a really awesome player to play with, dude. Like Zach, as Pat Bev says, Zach is cold. You know what I'm saying? Like he just is. So it's something Pat has to figure out. But I think without him being out there, it's definitely benefited him and helped him grow his game to the point where I think if Zach does come back, it will be better for him. He won't be as tentative, you know what I'm saying, and as rigid. It would be much smoother because we've seen a much smoother version of him out there on the floor.
Yeah, no, he's definitely played with a lot more confidence. Just he's cut out the fat. It's just getting to what he's great at. Yeah. Sometimes, and a streamlined process is sometimes best for a younger player. Instead of having everything in his disposal to work with, it's just, all right, 1-2 mid-range, 1-2 post-up, just those little things. And you're starting to see that aggression. He had a reverse dunk the other night. He's trying to dunk on people. Right. He's showing that aggression that Bulls fans have been, imploring for. Even, media people have been wondering when is it ever going to click? Yeah. But, still the rebounding is still what it is. Iffy, Mark K pointed out last night on Twitter. I think he said it baffles him how he can't grab that many, and so
that's there. It baffles me. So I don't get it.
And so it's the next step in his development. Yeah. But I will say the confidence. I will say something between Patrick and Coby is you really see how much confidence they have in each other. Yeah. And that's something that I think is tangible that the Bulls can, potentially harness. That, they work well together.
Yes.
That their lockers are next to each other in the locker room. I really do think that getting the best versions of Patrick, getting the best versions of Coby, then you add Zach. Because last night was a game they won, but you could tell that, Zach would have been, his scoring boost would have been there. Yes. And so it's interesting to see, though. Like, there isn't a wrong answer with those three.
Yeah,
with Dos and Ayo Dosunmu and Coby and Patrick. But isn't it crazy to think that we're talking about their performances in a positive light after how the season started?
Feels good, don't it? Feels good to me.
It's insane how just the turnaround. It's a reminder of how much of a long season it is. Now it's about Coby adjusting to getting number 2 on the scouting report.
Yes.
But like we talked about, those are good things for his development.
Yes.
To deal with that heightened defensive pressure and intensity and get, okay, so now you're not just the guy after DeMar and Zach. Now you're the second guy. How do you adjust? Right. Can he adjust? Those are all questions that will be answered over time.
Absolutely right.
And so, them going through these trials and tribulations will ultimately, everybody says it, but it will ultimately make them better.
It will.
Whether it's here or anywhere in the NBA.
And even to add to your point about Pat and Coby and their relationship, even when they were getting ready to go on the floor, I watched Coby walk right over to Pat, grab his head and put his forehead on him and talk to him about it real quick and then go on the floor. And I was like, that's the connection right there.
That leadership.
You know what I'm saying? That leadership. But that was a real, friendship connection. And, but I like the reason I didn't go with Ayo at all, because, again, I think Ayo was doing this when Zach was here. He has really carved out his own lane, which is really impressive, man. And he is playing a game within the game. And he finds his own niche. He sneaks in and steals offensive rebounds. He's developed that nice little mid-range jump shot, getting that shot from the baseline, running past everybody for a one-man fast break. Like, he's finding his own
blur
lane.
in transition.
Oh, my gosh, man. Yes, this is the Ayo from Illinois that I remember. Nobody could stop him. This is why he got the Bob Cousy Award there, because nobody could stop him out there. He was awesome to watch. Let's go ahead and hit these chaps that are super from our guy Steven. Steven, take it away, sir.
All right, first one is from Derek Owens. He said, I think Zach is a victim of the Bulls tearing everything down and essentially making him the vet of the team. He never had a real OG vet until Thaddeus Young.
Yeah, KG.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, KG.
He did. He had him. I hear your point, and again, a lot of this was on Zach a lot, especially when they were losing, because he was clearly the best player. And when you're the best player, you get the ball whether you want it or not, and you're playing all the minutes. You know what I mean?
And he was fresh off the ACL tear when he came here, too.
So it's hard for him to, again, we talked about those habits. It's hard for him to forget that habit of, I got to do it all. Yeah. That's what you're used to. You know what I mean? And that's what he knows. And, just tired of watching him dribble it off his foot in the fourth quarter. We don't want to see that no more. We got team now, Zach. It's all up.
All right, Chubbs is either playing the best prank on me ever, saying he was having some issues with their super chat, or he was being honest. I'm going to assume he's being honest here. He wanted to know if the title of our video was trolling because Zach is not a team player or a winner. Of course, the system works better without him.
That's tough. Not trolling. I think you're going to need a guy like Zach LaVine. They showed that. Who did we just lose to? Where they were just ice cold. Not Cleveland. Yes, Cleveland, actually.
Yeah, they lost to Cleveland.
That game kind of showed you where you need a guy like Zach LaVine, because at the end of the day, guys, you're going to need hoopers. Your system is cool and the system works, but people will defend the system. And at the end of the day, when the system breaks down, somebody got to get buckets.
Playoff basketball is all about who can score when the defense is loaded towards one person.
That's it. Period, point blank. That is it. And that's why you have to have more than one. Yeah. It can't just be DeMar. Yeah. There's no team that wins with just one. It cannot just be DeMar out there doing it. You got to give it to Zach, and when that system breaks down, you can go to the 90s Bulls if you want to. The reason it works is because you had the greatest player ever. So obviously when your system breaks down, allow Mike, fine, do whatever. But here your system breaks down and DeMar is being defended well by a taller player or something. Somebody else got to get the ball. And you saw that struggle happen when the Bulls, especially, they didn't shoot well again in this last game against Atlanta. It's just they had a monster out there getting all the rebounds and everything. But you're going to need somebody to get buckets. The late, great Bill Russell told you that this game is about and will always be about buckets. You got to get these buckets, man. And Zach is a bucket getter whether you like him or not. It's just about, can he buy into the system?
Yeah.
Can he sit here and watch this and be like, okay, I see what I need to do. I see why I need to get in. All right, I can do it like that.
Yeah.
If he can't, fine. We can have that discussion later. But I feel like he can, though, man.
No, I think – see, the thing with everybody wants, the ideal 3-and-D role player to run their system. And that's just – at the end of the day, you need a guy who can just say, forget the offense, give me a screen, or forget the screen, just let me go ISO.
Right.
That's just, look at the defending NBA champions, Jamal Joker, Golden State when they won in 2022. Andrew Wiggins stepped up and was that guy. So you need a bucket getter. Yeah. Every team needs a bucket getter other than their main guy.
Correct, because they're gonna be on him, man. Does Zach want to stay in Chicago? We don't know. We'll find out. But I think he's gonna play again for the Bulls after this injury. You feel this way?
From the reports out there you see from Casey and Shams, I think at first when he the whole trade thing went down, I thought he wouldn't, but as it goes on, wouldn't be shocked if he's here.
Okay, all right. I know we're close to the end, but Stephen, we're gonna throw you a curveball real quick.
Oh, that's not good.
You don't have to do anything.
Well, how about before you throw me the curveball?
Sure.
Can we get some more likes in here? There's 35 likes. There's 157 people watching.
He needs the thumbs.
Can we get a shout out for Anthony, who's he's from California visiting his nieces?
Hey, and his nephew. Shout out, Ant. What up, man?
Shout out that family time.
Yes, sir. Nothing wrong with it, man. I had some yesterday. It was pretty awesome.
All right, let's hear this curveball.
His curveball. Curveball is music.
Oh, no, I'm not good at music.
I've heard. I just want to ask Kyle because he wanted to know his best albums of the year, like favorite albums of the year. I'm gonna start with you, though. I want to know what albums you feeling and what's your best of the year, sir.
No Name. I really
Sundial was awesome.
Really been enjoying that album.
Yes.
That it's not getting enough love, I don't think. Babyface Ray from Detroit. Really been tapping in with that Detroit scene lately.
Yes, sir.
And Nas, I think it was Magic 3.
Magic 3, yes.
Magic 3. Nas, nothing really you need to say. But,
it's Nas.
But I really want to talk about that the No Name album because it was, she does a great job of being critical, but also criticizing herself.
Correct.
And so that was really, she's not just talking down from her ivory tower. I got faults too. I performed at Coachella.
Right.
And so,
I
think when we talk about these top 10 lists of the year, rap people talked this year that it wasn't a great year for rap, which it wasn't.
I completely agree with you.
But the women ran rap this year.
She did.
Like No Name ran rap, Lola Brooke ran rap, like all of these fantastic female rappers.
Nicki Minaj's new album.
Nicki Minaj. So, had to shout out No Name one time. And, he didn't drop an album, but J. Cole was just killing everything. Yeah, killing everything in sight.
Feature monster. I completely agree with you on No Name. I love artists who understand they're artists. Oh, yeah. She's an artist, bro. So artists are flawed. You know what I mean? And that's fine. That's how I want them. You know what I mean? They're not here to make statements.
Exactly.
And, when I say make statements, like change your mind, like politically, you know what I mean? Like they're not here to lead you on that. They're giving their opinion. Yep. This is how I feel about this. Do you feel like this? Cool. If you don't, cool. But this beat is dope, right? Yeah. You know what I mean?
These rhymes are dope.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying is ill, right? Yes, it is. Continue on, ladies and gentlemen. Mick Jenkins.
Shout out Mick Jenkins.
The Patience. I love that. Whew. That album was dope. Anyway, because I sure wrote something down because you told me. Nick Grant, Sunday Dinner, was super dope. Legendary Trackster had a double album, which was dope. The song with Lupe on there is crazy. ALLCITY Oh No had an album.
Shout out ALLCITY.
Heavy vibrato.
Aromatic.
Cole. Black Milk, also from Detroit.
Yeah.
Everybody's good. Fonte, one of the verses of the year on that joint. My favorite one, Naomi Sharon, R&B artist. Naomi Sharon. She signs to Drake's label.
R&B albums this year were killing it.
Yeah, they did.
Killing it. Victoria Monet.
Shout out Cleo Soul also, man. Good God.
Hey.
Hey, brother. Hey. But album of the year for me, and Terminology and Paul Wall had a collab album that was cold. But Coda, The Friend, and Static Selector. That album, for me, was right there with Sundial.
Okay.
Like, that album was really like, damn. Like, it slapped me in the face. I like when albums slap me in the face. That's the only time I like being slapped in my face is by music. And that album, I wasn't ready for it. Yeah. But Coda, man, and they've really blended well. And just listening to Static Selector and how good he's gotten as far as his beats are concerned. Like you can
he
really
killed
get the melodies of
that Joey Badass project he did, I think 2022.
Yep.
He 2000.
Yep.
He killed it.
And he had a compilation album too. Again this year as well. Actually, at Pasta News was the first song, and it was his first time talking about the death of Dave from De La Soul. The first time talking about it, man. Shout out De La Soul. Rest in peace, Dave. One of my favorite groups ever. But yeah, so Naomi Sharon was cold, but Coda the Great and No Name. And the Mick Jenkins project, really, really awesome stuff. Yeah, good stuff.
Some good albums.
Yeah,
I'm ready for 2024.
Let's go, man. Steven, who you listening to, man?
You guys are never going to want to work with me again. I couldn't name a single album from the year.
You can't name a single album that you listen to?
I could tell you what I'm listening to right now.
Yeah.
It's completely different from everything you just listed.
Come on with it.
I just downloaded Spotify for the first time, which is another weird thing. I know.
Shout out
Spotify.
Right now,
work with
I'm in on the vibey songs. I've been listening to Chainsmokers a little bit.
Chainsmokers, okay. We rock with the Chainsmokers.
All right?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
You could
I got one. All right.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say something more obscure. I'm
we like what Chainsmokers. Yeah, of course. Yeah, come on, man. Our libraries, our libraries are pretty vast. Bro.
Okay.
We all over the place. You know what I mean? But yes, thank y'all for indulging us on that. That was also
Thundercat too.
Oh, yes.
Thundercat.
Oh, great point. He's awesome. Great point. But yes, a lot of great music this year. Make sure you all continue to listen and find yourself something that you get into. Everybody ain't got to like what you like.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. Just find something that you get into that you think is dope, and then share it with people like me because I like hearing that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that'd be cool. Watch the Little Brother documentary as well. Thank y'all for joining us. Kyle, my guy.
Of course.
Appreciate you being here, man. Kyle Williams, the youngest in charge. Make sure you're reading his work with the Sun Times as he covers the high school hoops right now. But he's covering it all, ladies and gentlemen. And you're just going to see more and more of him. This won't be the first time. You're going to see more. I got Stephen Nichols,
Shout out Steven.
the Phantom. He came out of nowhere. He came out of nowhere, baby. I can find him at a place eating some steak and some eggs. That's where I can find him at. Shout out to Matt. We'll be here. We'll be back tomorrow. Matt, we'll be here tomorrow for the Bulls Pacers game.
Yep.
And that should be fun. So, on behalf of those guys, I'm Big Dave. Follow me on Twitter at Bow Sports. Love you, mama. Love you, everybody. Kiss you from the Hug Your Families. We out. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.